What would happen if the Powerpuff Girls weren't heroes, just hunting without mercy?
Powerpuff Girls!
What if Planet 51 wasn't a comedy while a monster in a spacesuit devoured the rest? Or Megamind wasn't a genius, but a machine ruled by pure evil?
Please no!
Well, I'm turning your favorite animations into hunting horror posters. You'll never forget.
What's going on?
Megamind, but possessed, controlled by brutal energy.
Who are you?
I start by dropping Megamind right in the center of the scene. Then I erase the top of his head, like someone sewed it off. I paint the inside red, and add some darker red touches at the bottom for depth. Around the edges, I brush in a deep blue, like Megamind's flesh is actually blue. Creepy, right? I fade out the bottom half of his body, so it looks like he's emerging from the darkness, just staring at us. But who's really pulling the strings? Roxanne?
Megamind.
I place her in a chair with mind control levers attached. I refine the levers, erase the extra bits, and copy one to the other side. So yeah, it was Roxanne all along. I bring in a piece of cloth. I stretch it over Megamind's face. Erase the spots where the eyes and mouth are, so it turns into a creepy mask. To make it feel like real fabric, I shade certain areas, giving that sackcloth texture. I add two little holes near the nose area, like creepy stitch breathing holes. Using dark blue, I add solemn bumps and dents across Megamind's forehead. It's like his head is bruised, but his bruises turn blue instead of red. Around his mouth, I paint green. What if that's not just a bruise? What if it's Minion's blood? Did Megamind eat Minion?
Escape!
I draw two strings holding the mask up, like Roxanne crafted this mask for him. For Roxanne, I put a mask on her too, to hide her cruel, twisted face. Some shadowing across her mask make it pop, adding depth and darkness. Inside Megamind's head, I fill it with glowing green liquid, a toxic substance oozing out. It spreads around Roxanne, like she's drowning in the poison she controls. I place Roxanne's gloved hands firmly on the levers. Then I smear green touches across her gloves, like the poison is seeping into everything. For lighting, I darken the edges around Megamind's face, layer in shadows, and tone down the saturation to match the mood. Finally, I add the original Megamind logo and a sensor label beneath it. Roxanne now has full control of Megamind, and the city is no longer safe. Powerpuff Girls, but this time their bodies have fused into one. 3 heads, 1 body. But now they've unlocked dark, demonic powers with no mercy for anyone.
To me!
I start by dropping in some rows of chairs and an iron wall for the background. It feels almost like a home theater, but way too bright, so I dim the lights, leaving only a faint glow in the center. Now comes their twisted body. I lower the opacity, erase the extra bits. Then I start placing the girls in one by one. Each head needs its own neck, right? So I draw 3 necks, all fitting into one body. Red, raw necks, and the horror begins. Each girl gets her own demonic twist. Buttercup. I smear red around her mouth, like blood dripping out. Her whole mouth glows red, like she's been feeding.
What's she doing here, boss?
Then I add pimples across her face. Maybe these vampires get infected after feeding on something strange. Blossom. I wipe out one of her eyes completely. I slash a deep scar across her face and stain her mouth with red. She's beautiful but terrifying. And yes, she gets pimpled too. Bubbles. She is the most tragic. I erase her right eye and replace it with gaping holes like worms have eaten through it. Now she is a merciless vampire, her skin broken out with pimples. I shade their necks, making them look more like undead flesh. The shadows pull them out of the flatness, turning them into something real. Their outfits too clean, so splatter darted across their clothes. Even their hands. In the back, I had Arturo. He's peeking at us from behind the chairs, but he's not normal anymore. I erased one of his eyes. Leave a deep, hollow cavity instead, and smear red around his mouth and teeth. He's one of them now. Finally, I cast the girl's shadows across the iron wall and dropping the original logo. The cheerful little heroes you knew are gone. Now they're hiding their fangs behind the smile. Planet 51, the crime humans committed, put the lives of the aliens in danger.
Hello?
I start with a field of grass, dropping a bright blue sky and a neat white wooden fence. I erase the bottom so it sinks into the ground, like it's really there. Then comes Captain Charles, but did you know he was never human at all? I drag his mouth way down, stretching it all the way to his legs, like his jaw could swallow the wall. For now, I keep the inside pitch black, but that's gonna change. I dim the scene and bring in the aliens, but they're trapped, sealed inside glass containers. I erase the bases so they look like they're sitting in the grass. Then threw shadows under them and Charles. Inside the glass, a glowing green liquid. The aliens' heads floating, only their heads. What happened to their bodies? Were they torn apart?
You're not thinking all this is my fault, right?
I highlight the glass with green strokes, so it looks like the slime is glowing. Casting light on the ground. Back to Charles. I shade his spacesuit, make the folds deeper and black out his eyes. His helmet, I darken it, but leave faint reflections of the sky. Then I spill the green glow across his suit, like this toxic substance is leaking everywhere. It even fills his mouth, dripping out onto his body and helmet. And his eyes green smoke, like something alive is crawling out of him. For extra horror, I scattered the same green ooze on the ground. And inside his mouth, I stick hands and legs, being dragged down into the base. Finally, I drop in the original logo and finish it with the label at the bottom. No, Captain Charles isn't a hero. He's a monster, and the aliens never stood a chance. Thank you guys for watching, and you can watch me with the designs here.